ArepasDelGringo. Today we're going to be making arepas, but we're going to be doing a few different things. I've been making arepas for quite some time now, and when I talk to people about arepas, they either don't know what they are or they know exactly what they are. Meaning, if I talk to someone from Colombia or Venezuela, they know exactly the ingredients that should be in them, and some people are very particular about how they're made. And the more I hear that on how things should be, the more I realize that you can do anything you want with them. There are so many ingredients that you can put into these versatile corn patties that it is unbelievable. You can take a gluten-free product, throw on dozens of types of vegetables and combinations, and it can be a vegetarian, gluten-free, even lactose-free if you omit a few ingredients, and it fills you up completely. And if you're not vegetarian, you can put your meats on there. You can put fish, you can put chicken, you can put beef and steak. There are so many different types of combinations that can happen with these things. If you go very traditional, you either have your plain cheese arepa, mostly from Colombia, with maybe some egg and some meat on top. Or on the Venezuelan side, you have your typical go-to, 5 or 6 type arepas. Pabellón, rumbera, domino. And they all share, the same few things. There's avocado, there's some chicken, there's plantains, black beans, and some cheese. But, let's take it a little further. I made one the other day, the Hawaiiana, and I added pineapple and ham. Just like a Hawaiian pizza. So I'm doing another one with cabbage and radishes, and you can do some really creative things. There's others you can do with lime and chicken and a little bit of avocado as well, and cilantro, and you can add all these creative flavors. So this is sort of what I'm starting to do now, is I want to produce all of these different videos of things that you can really take these up a few notches with. I've been doing some with red cabbage and sweet vinegar and cilantro and lime, and it adds like this slaw on the top, and they're just so good. So what I want to do next is take it even further, and rather than making the round arepas, we're going to do it in a waffle maker. So we're going to make arepa waffles, and it's going to make these nice little pockets where we can put our ingredients so we can soak it all up and we can just eat it. So I think it's going to be fun. I really do want to hear your thoughts and be like, be completely honest. I'm trying to learn how to make these on a clean slate. I didn't have anyone teach me how to do it growing up. They weren't made for me, every day for breakfast or twice a week, 3 times a week. I didn't have someone to really grow up with to teach me how these things should be made. So I'm looking at this from a different lens on, how can we really add some new flavor and style to this. So that's really what I want to show to you guys, because you can take these very basic items and you can make it a culinary masterpiece that is just so delicious. So let's get started. Alright, so just like how we start every single time, we're going to have our basic arepa recipe. We're going to add about 2.5 cups of water. I'm going to save a little bit at the end, just so I have some, if I need to add some moisture. We have about a cup of milk. We're going to add in our cup of milk. At this point, we're going to add in our cornmeal. So this is white pre-cooked cornmeal. We're going to add enough of this. We're going to add a little bit more after, but I like to use half at a time so I can get rid of the lumps. So it's like a thick glue right now. We want to get it to about the consistency of Play-Doh. So I'm just going to mash through this just a little bit very quickly so we can break up all the lumps, make sure there's no powder, stuck in little pockets. So once we get this to a point, which is very close to being done, we're going to add in our next set of ingredients. So after that, we're going to add in a little bit of salt. We're going to add in about 4 good sized pinches of salt. And then our butter. Just blend this in. Get it all mixed together. It's looking pretty good. So the consistency is quite wet right now, but we're gonna dry it up with a couple ingredients here. So next, what we want to add is maybe 3/4 of a cup of Cotija cheese. And this is just a dry cheese. This is going to add some nice flavor, a little bit of salt, and it's going to add some texture when we cook these. And it's going to add just a little bit of extra flavor, which you're going to be able to see, not only see, taste and feel in texture. So make sure that cheese is all mixed in there, get it off the sides. It's very good. Okay. Next, just sprinkle just a little bit of oil in there. And this is really, really helpful. Not just for flavor, but it's more for when you're forming them. It doesn't stick as much as it could, so it really helps out. All right, so this is our basic dough. What we want to do now is add a little bit more because it's, add a little more of the cornmeal because it's a little bit dry. Not too much, we can always add in more later. And that's what I save the water for, just in case, you know, if we do over pour a little bit, you know, we can always save it with that warm water that's left over. And that was one thing that I did want to note, that the butter was melted. So that means we need to use warm ingredients. So make sure things are room temperature, especially your water and milk. I actually put those in the microwave just for a little bit, just to make sure that they're not going to solidify those clumps of butter. I mean, butter's good, but we don't want to make little pockets of butter yet. So when you can pick it up like this and you can form it, this means, you know, we're at a pretty good place. So what I want to do is take a piece off about the size of a golf ball. And this golf ball size will allow us to, what we want to do is form a little bowl in our hands. Take some cheese, nice little clump of cheese, fold it into like we're making an empanada. I call it an arepanada because it's halfway, you know, it's an arepa, but it's in the form of an empanada. So, yeah. And then we'll seal it up. And there we have it. So it's a nice little golf ball pocket with cheese inside. And that is one arepa. So we're going to continue to do the same. You know, we just take about the size of a golf ball. And you're going to notice that the longer that this dough sits out, it is going to lose some of its water content and it's going to get a little bit harder. So you want to work pretty quickly, and this is a skill that you'll develop over time, and you'll be able to crank these out very fast. Especially if you don't put the cheese inside, you can make these really fast, but the cheese adds quite a nice flavor and texture to it. Alright, so let's open it up and see what we got. Oh, look at that. That looks unbelievable. Let's get the plate. Let's put it right on there. Cool, so for the second one, I want to try and make it just in one corner. So this looks delicious. This looks amazing. Look at that. You got both sides, and you can break them off into 4 different pieces. Now That looks really good. So here we have it, Arepa Waffles. Amazing. The texture's perfect, crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. I am going to be making a lot of new things with these. Again, you know, these are what I'm calling new arepas, new styles, arepas nuevas. Trying new ingredient combinations, new textures, taking things outside the box, you know, going beyond, you know, the go-to 5 or 6 arepa styles. We're going to be getting a little creative. Thank you so much. Please like, share, comment, you know, tell people about these, try and make them yourself. Let me know how they come out, and I hope to see you soon.